Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to At Lafayette Live here on Monday, April 27th, 2026. And as always, thank you so very much for joining me here on a Monday evening. It's always fun to get together with you guys and talk about what's going on here in the area. If you've joined us before, you've heard all of this. But if you're brand new, At Lafayette Live is brought to you by me. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm a local realtor here in the Greater Lafayette area, and we talk about all sorts of things here in the Greater Lafayette area. Fun things to do, new developments, favorite restaurants, little vacation road trips, housing, real estate updates. If it's Lafayette, the Greater Lafayette area, then that's what we talk about. So thank you so much for joining me here on a rainy, awfully stormy out there evening today. Indeed, it's been stormy and rainy all day and really threw my plans for a loop. I actually had planned that I was going to go out and get some new content for the channel and for these videos, go explore some of all that's going on here in the area. And the forecast when I originally planned that idea was a little better than it actually worked out to be. It was going to be sunny and nice, and it turned out to be rainy and stormy. So we'll do that another day. But let me know in the comments where you're watching from. It's always fun to see if people are watching here in the Greater Lafayette area. And by Greater Lafayette, I mean Lafayette and West Lafayette, Tippecanoe County, all the surrounding counties, Warren County, Montgomery County, White County, Benton County. Are you here in Indiana or in the Midwest? And indeed, I know I've got some regular fans, friends, viewers, watchers watching from all over the country, quite a few in warmer locations than we are in, although it's not winter anymore, so that's maybe not quite a fair statement anymore. But I know we've got some California folks and occasionally some Arizona friends and Texas and Florida. But let me know in the chat where you're watching from. And I'm Jeff Gooch with the Russell Company, powered by At Properties. I'd love to be your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice if you're interested in buying or selling here in the Greater Lafayette area. All of my contact information is below, but you could also go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube and fill out that form. So today we're going to talk quite a lot about some details about the market, about development, about what's coming here to the Lafayette area as far as new house builds are concerned in 2026. But I'm going to start with looking at at new builds. So I'm going to bring up the the Tippecanoe Area Plan Commission is responsible for approving planned developments here in the area, whether those are subdivisions or planned developments like the high-rise apartments and condos that are going up around West Lafayette and downtown Lafayette. They get first crack at approving that and then send them on to the appropriate constituency from there, whether that's the Lafayette or West Lafayette City Council or the Tippecanoe commissioners. New houses coming to the area. There are a lot coming in 2026. And if you've watched the show at all, you know that I have talked a lot about inventory being constrained and just not keeping up with demand here in the area. The area has been growing. We are economically strong. We have a great manufacturing base. We have a lot of old school manufacturing, a lot of new school manufacturing. We, of course, have Purdue University. We have retail and healthcare. And we have a really great diversified economy, but there's not been enough housing to keep up. So I went through the all of the planned subdivision developments that are coming up here in 2026, and I'm going to tell you that there's a little bit of a gray art to this because the easy number to track is number of permits issued. And I could also look at number of actual new homes sold, because there are times when certain neighborhoods get planned and then they just kind of never take off, or they develop forever and they're really, really slow burns. But this year we've had a number of big developers come in. We've got a developer out of Indianapolis. We have a national developer coming into the Lafayette area that have brought way more homes to the market, announced way more homes, have plans under review, have permits that are being issued and approved in many cases as we speak. I won't bury the lead here. I went through and I did up some totals. My best guesstimate is about 1,249 new single family and townhouse style properties coming on the market in 2026 and on into 2027. A number of these are breaking ground as we speak. Millbrook happened just, I believe, yesterday or the day before the official groundbreaking. But I kind of wanted to talk you through what some of these planned developments are, where they are, what they're going to be. So let's talk through this. And I'm going to have to figure out the best view to show you on this. So let's take a look here. Yeah, I think that this will work well. Let me look at one other arrangement on my screen. This one, yeah, this one's actually probably slightly better. We're going to go with this one. So I went through, and you can see here on this website that these are plans that are under review and plans that are approved. And when I go to click on them, it'll actually zoom us to the neighborhood. We can click and get the info. And when I talk about the information, it gets a little gray. Sometimes these permits have been open for a while. So, for example, I just clicked on Arbor Chase by the Lake Subdivision Section 6, Phase 1. It was approved in 2021 and platted in 2022 with currently 37 to 42. So that's really neither here nor there for our conversation right now. But then some of the under reviews, the website just kind of hasn't been updated just yet, or it will be updated very, very soon. But let's go through and talk about some of the new housing developments that are coming here to the area. And we're just going to be talking about location and total number of homes. Not going to be talking too much about price points because we don't have all of that information just yet. So first up, down on the northwest side of West Lafayette, we have Bower Ridge Estates, which is going to be 84 homes here. And you can kind of see that this is just to the east of the old Elks Country Club that's being redeveloped. Well, it's under consideration for redevelopment as we speak. So that is a West Lafayette address. That is going to be TSC schools. Those are 84 lots that are going to be coming to the market. And then we're going to kind of zip around here, mostly in alphabetical order, so it may not quite go in order. The next one is Centennial's Edge, and this is in downtown Lafayette. And this one, unlike most, is a multifamily. It's still single family, but this is townhouse. This is attached as opposed to detached. And one of the big problems with the housing inventory here in the Greater Lafayette area is that we are dominated by single family housing, by standalone detached housing as opposed to attached like townhouses and condos and that sort of thing. So any development towards that, but this is redeveloping an old lot just on the north side of downtown. 36 single-family attached townhouses coming to this lot here, and if you drive by, you'll see that this site is under active development now. I drove by, I would say a week or two ago, and they were definitely grading the area and getting that underway. So I'm really excited about anything that's multifamily here, whether it's townhouse or condo, just because denser housing leads to more housing and also has a lot to do with walkable communities and walkable towns. And of course, there's going to be areas of town where that just doesn't make sense. But that's 36 new homes coming, and then we're going to move on to Chesapeake Point, and this is a phase 2. So a lot of these some of these that we're going to look at, and a lot of development is, the neighborhood was started and it's successful, and now they're expanding the neighborhood. And this is one that's a little grayer. I think some of these homes are already done, but this was announced back early in 2025 as 81 lots. But this is down here on the southwest side of Lafayette, just down off of the new 231. 231's not new anymore, but you know what I'm saying. So there's 81 lots there. So we're already up close to 200 lots that we've talked about, and we're only into our third development. Moving on. This one is mixed use. I don't have as much info on this one. I believe that this is an apartment complex, but I wanted to throw it in there. It's going to be R3. It's going to have 13 buildings, 240 units total. I believe that these are going to be apartment style and not condo style. This one just got onto the docket early this year, just about 2 months ago, and I haven't heard a lot about this, so I will definitely be following up. So, that's 240 units. If we take that out of the mix, because it's kind of the one that doesn't fit the rest the most, that brings us down to about 1,009 total units across Tippecanoe County, and that's still a lot compared to past years. Probably shouldn't have put that one in, but we're going to start to get to we're going to look at Everwood next. Everwood is a subdivision, another new subdivision just across the street from what we just looked at down at Chesapeake Point, just to the south. This is a new development that's had some controversy from the neighbors to the north, but it was approved. Another 249 lots coming to this area. And if they haven't broken ground already, and I haven't driven down by it in the last couple of weeks, I'll get some updates on that. Like I said, I was just going through and just collating the data, and then we'll hit all of these sites and kind of figure out where they stand and when I think they're actually going to be coming to market. But another 249 lots. And then the interesting thing about this development is that it is a mix of R1A and R1B. And R1B basically just has smaller lots and smaller lot lines. It makes the property a little bit cheaper, a little bit more manageable, gets us a little bit higher density of housing on the same amount of land. And when you talk about homes that are walkable, and I'm not saying that down here south on New 231 is walkable to anything else, but just inside of its own neighborhood, having some R1B, having some smaller lot lines is definitely, I think, a good thing overall. Heartland Estates is up next. This one is actually over, and I'm going to zoom this out. This is a 108-acre lot in Dayton, just south of Dayton. And if you can see this map here, Dayton's kind of right here. It's a little small town just to the southeast side of Lafayette. It's pretty popular with employees of Subaru because it's right on the other side of I-65. But, it's a quick shot up 38 into everything of Lafayette, straight shot, really quick shot up 65. And also Dayton's just a great town on its own. But there have been a couple of new developments here on the south side of Dayton, and this is just the latest. Another 108 lots coming to the small town of Dayton. At some point, when does it stop being a small town? I don't think that we're anywhere close to coming to that extent there. So there's 108 lots coming there. I'm going to skip out of order. I'm going to go to the last one on my list, which is Timberbrook Meadows Subdivision Phase 2. This is an expansion of neighborhoods that Tempest has been developing over here to the north of West Lafayette, just over 600 north. And there's Timberbrook Meadows Subdivision Phase 1. There's Timberbrook Estates. And then across the street to the north, I can't remember the name of that subdivision. But this is basically going to, it's in some ways, it's going to wind up being one big neighborhood, and we're really talking about subsections of this neighborhood. But Tempest is opening up another 167 lots. And if you're wondering why this development is happening here, well, it's because the three schools are all basically in this area. You've got Harrison High School, Burnett Creek, and I'm drawing a blank on the third one. So there's 167 lots coming to the north side of West Lafayette. But then, like I said, I just skipped because I want to go back to Millbrook. And if you haven't heard about Millbrook, you haven't been watching the show. Millbrook is a development being built by Estridge Homes out of Indianapolis. And the Lafayette development scene, the Greater Lafayette development scene, has been a little bit insular in the past. There are many reasons for this, but this is maybe not the first, but this is definitely part of the wave of developers from outside of the Lafayette area coming to Lafayette to help develop. And I've heard a lot of people say, why is Lafayette bringing people in? And Lafayette doesn't bring people in. It's not like the cities or the counties do anything. Yes, we can talk about, tax abatements and things like that, but that doesn't really apply too much to the residential areas. This is businesses doing the analysis and figuring out that we don't have enough houses for sale here, and they can build houses and make a profit. And that's the point of owning a business, is to make profit and put food on the table and feed your kids. And your shareholders, of course. But why this is such a big deal, this is up just Salisbury in West Lafayette turns into 50 West. So this is to the north side of West Lafayette. This is the approval of Phase 1. And Phase 1 has 236 lots. But at the same time, they also have approval for 48 lots in their cottages subdivision section, which is just part of it here. So you're just kind of looking at this right now. But I bring this up to say that this is an outside developer coming from Indy, and they've got roughly just under 300 total homes that are going to be built in Phase 1. But it is somewhere between 1,100 and 1,400 doors between single-family detached, the traditional single-family homes, and single-family attached, think townhomes. 1,100 homes, one developer. Now, they have said that this is going to take about a decade to build. At a decade to build, that's about 100 homes per year. I think that we're kind of going to see in the first 5 years, a good majority of those are built, and then it'll take the last 5 years to kind of finish them out, I think is how it's going to play out. But this is one developer. But as we go through that list of new builds coming to the area, new build subdivisions coming to the area, the ones that are coming now that have been recently approved and are basically breaking ground now and will start selling now here in 2026 represent north of 1,000 homes. And that doesn't include some of the unfinished subdivisions that, were 50, 75, 100 homes and were approved, last year or the year before, and they've only built out, say 50 or 75% of them, so they still have some capacity. So we have probably in the 12 to 1,400 range of actual lots that are going to be available, this year and probably into early next year. And that is just huge. And if you stay tuned to @Lafayette Live and the channel, the Lafayette Reel, I'm going to bring you updates on what's actually going into those subdivisions, what kind of houses, price points, amenities, options, because that's the other thing. There's a lot of amenities that are going to be coming to some of these neighborhoods. So make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss a minute of our updates here on the Lafayette Reel. So that's just a quick highlight of a lot of the new build communities that are coming to Lafayette. And if you're interested in any of those, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out the form, and let's start working together on your new build home here in the Greater Lafayette area. And next up, I'm going to do, we're going to look at something that's kind of related to this. We are going to look at some market analysis here. And this is not my normal monthly update. This is I'm looking to talk about what the market is, and my headline might be a tale of two markets. We're kind of going to look at the splits in the markets, where the majority of sales are, how long things take to sell, what starter home means, what move up home means, what the price breakdowns, what the performance breakdowns in sales really kind of mean, because as it relates to the conversation that we were just having about new builds, we hear a lot about things like, when is housing going to cool off? When's it going to get cheaper? I guess I could just say right now, and you might stop watching, and I've told you the end conclusion. It's not. But I really want to kind of dig into this to give you a breakdown of what the market looks like, to give you the knowledge for when we talk about in the future about a lot of these new builds and other homes that are in the area, about what they're going to cost, because some of these neighborhoods are going to be starting in the 400s and up, and people are going to come back to me and say, Jeff, that's crazy. It's not, because businesses aren't cutting into the market to lose money. They have a solid business plan. So let's take a look at a detailed market overview here in the Greater Lafayette area. And we're going to break the market down by price, by construction status, by property type, and we're really going to get into the details here of all of this. And we're going to start with new listings by price. And this is a 12-month rolling total. So this is over the previous 12 months, and then the previous, so we're in April right now, so back to April of 2025, and then the previous rolling 12 months before that. So let's bring this up. And again, I got to see which of these screen layouts works best for this. We're going to go with this one. This is new listings that come on the market, and where do they fit in price brackets. And you'll see your eye is drawn right to the middle here. These are the tallest bars for both years, for the previous year and the year prior to that. $250,000 to $349,000, far and above every other price bracket. Now, the price brackets to either side over the last 12 months have been fairly similar. If we go down one price bracket, 150 to 249, about 543 homes. And if we go up a price bracket, 350 to 499, about 587 homes. So the majority of homes in the Greater Lafayette area that have gone on the market in the last year are definitely under 500K, with most of those being in the 250 to 350 mark. But there is a good bit of inventory available between 150 and 250. And if you're here looking for a deal, if you're looking for a dirt cheap 0 to 149, I got to bad news for you. It's less than 100 homes, and those 100 homes, they were small, they were dirty, they were torn up. They needed lots and lots of work. And if you bought that home for 150, by the time you got doing the work on it, by the time you got done doing the work on it, you didn't have a $150,000 home anymore. You had a $250,000, $300,000 home. But then we come down here to the other end, and we'll see that there is a market in the 500 to 750 range, 300 homes. Not nothing, about a little less than half as many as the core here. And then we do have some activity in the $750,000 to $1 million range, and then a handful of homes, 27, sold at more than $1 million over the last year. So, we can clearly see that we have quite a few homes that are $500,000 and less. And if you're looking for a home, you're really probably going to be looking in that 150 to 350 range, with the median being a chart that we're going to look at in a few minutes. All right. Next up, we're going to look at new listings by construction. So we just talked a lot about a bunch of new homes that are coming on the market here in the Greater Lafayette area. A lot of new planned development and subdivision development coming here to the area in 2026 and 2027. But over the last year, check this out. Existing homes over the last year, 2,200. New construction, 158. I mean, we're talking about 8% or so of compared, and those numbers have held tight over the last 2 years. So when I talk about 1,000 new homes coming on the market here in the not too distant future. I mean, they're not all going to come on the market in 1 year. This isn't going to pop up to 1,000, but it's going to be a whole lot more than 158. So even 100 or 200 or 150 is going to be 100% more than we had over the last year. So that's when I say these 1,000 homes that are breaking ground now and are going to start coming on the market throughout the rest of this year are really going to affect our numbers here, and they're really going to help with the housing crunch that we have felt here in the Greater Lafayette area for a very long time now. But I also talked about multifamily, and multifamily is not the right word. It's really detached versus attached. And detached single family homes, standalone homes, 2,200 last year. So this encompasses things like condos and townhouses. Condos and townhouses is its own category. 97. So about 5% compared to detached single family. So I am excited to see more townhouses and more condos come on the market because we need more inventory. We need more houses. And not everybody wants a 3,000 square foot home with 6 bedrooms and a pool. Some people just want an apartment that they can own, so that would be a condo, or they want a townhouse where they can live, maybe in community with others. So I'm really, really excited to see that inventory come on. Now, inventory by price is our next number that we're going to look at here. So the current year is the arrows on the right. The previous year are the dots on the left. And this just backs up what we saw with new listings. The longest, the inventory is average daily inventory. This is what's for sale on any given day. By far, the largest amount is kind of in the middle of the market, and the middle of the market in this case, just by sheer numbers, $350,000 to $499,000. 88 homes last year. Compared to that lower price point of what we were talking about before of $250,000 to $350,000, only 59 homes. And in the price point above, 56 homes. And again, dirt cheap, $150,000 to $250,000, only 34 homes. And I guarantee you a good many of those homes needed a whole lot of love. And again, there's a handful of $1 million homes and homes approaching $1 million. So on any given day, you're going to see lots of homes for sale between $350,000 and $500,000. And then you're going to see a good number of homes for sale between $250,000 and $350,000, and another good amount between $500,000 and $750,000. So if you're shopping in the $250,000 to $750,000 mark, we got some houses that we can look at. If you're looking below that, you're going to have to really pick your spots, and you're going to have to get super lucky because a lot of those homes, like I said, there's just not a lot of them. And of those that do exist, they're at that price point for a reason. By construction, this is just going to back up what we were looking at earlier. This is inventory by construction. And check it out. In the current year, 224 existing homes versus 37 new constructions. So that's about, 22 would be 10%. So it's about 15%. I'm really, really excited to see these new subdivisions coming online here this year and next year. And we're going to bump that new construction from 37. And this is what's available on any given day. But we're going to see that 37 go to 47 and 57 and 67 and maybe 70 or 80. Will it hit 100? Yeah, probably not. But, there's going to be more housing for sale. And more new construction for sale, I think, is also going to mean more existing construction for sale, because there are going to be some people that are going to, you know what, I'm ready to move up, ready to downsize, whatever the case might be. I'm ready to go on to the next house, but it's still here in the area, and they're going to opt to go to a new construction. And at the same time as they're buying into that inventory, they're going to be opening up the inventory of their homes that they're currently in. And I think that is great news for you and for all of us. Inventory by property type, again, same story. Detached single family, this is the average daily inventory. We had 248 homes on any given day that were detached single family, and we had 10 townhouses and condos. So if you're looking for a condo here in the area and you called me up and said, I need one today, on average, I would only have 10 to show you. If you wanted a detached single family home, I'd have 248 to show you. Now, would they be the homes you're looking for? Probably not, but a lot more possibilities amongst 248 versus 10. We're going to start getting into actual sales over the last year. This is closed sales by price. And this is sales that got all the way to the closing table and the transaction actually happened. And again, we can see the tallest bar is right here in the middle, 250 to 350. And then we get shoulders going down at 150 to 250 and 350 to 5. So basically, real estate in the Greater Lafayette area and Tippecanoe County exists between 150 and 500, with the sweet spot being between 250 and 350. There is a little bit of inventory between 0 and 150, and then of course some higher price stuff at 500 and above. I can't reiterate enough that 0 to 150, they're priced that way for a reason. So we're talking about 1,865 closed transactions last year. 1/3 of them were in that 250 to 350 range. That's a lot. I'm just trying to set expectations for what you might be paying for a home. If you're coming here to the Greater Lafayette area and you're looking for a home, these are the price points that you're going to be looking at. If you haven't been in the market for a home for a while and you're ready to move and you're like, oh my gosh, Jeff, these houses are so expensive. Well, if you're selling, I got good news for you. Your house is worth more than it was when you bought it. And if you'd like to know what that number is, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube. Go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out that form, and I can get you a current value on your home. Maybe you haven't checked on it in the last year or 5 or 10, but I guarantee you it's worth more now than when you bought it. Closed sales by construction, existing homes over the last year, 1,700, 120 new constructions. Not even 10% of the new construction of the existing homes numbers were new construction. Out of 1,865 homes, only 120 were new constructions. So if you wanted to buy a new home, your inventory was seriously constrained as to buying a new home here in the area, as to buying an existing home here in the area. Sorry. We're going to hopefully see that help ease a little bit in the coming years. We have more than 1,000 new homes coming to subdivision developments here over the next year or two. Next up on our analysis of a detailed market overview here in the Greater Lafayette area, closed sales by property type. Again, we're talking about detached single family versus townhouse and condo. No surprise here, sales that actually closed. There were 1,865 total. 79 of those were townhouse and condo. The remainder, about 1,800, were detached single family. So if you didn't want a standalone home, if you wanted a condo, if you wanted a townhouse, you have really limited options here in the Greater Lafayette area. And that means that if you want one, you've got to be ready to act. You've got to have a realtor who's on top of it, who knows the market, who's got his finger on the pulse of what's coming. You got to be pre-approved. You know what you got to know what you can afford, what your finance plan is, and to get the answers to all of that, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out that form, and let's work together on all your real estate needs here in the Greater Lafayette area. I told you that this was a deep dive, and we're going to keep on going because this is really important, I think, for us to get through all of this. Pending sales by price. This was sales that went pending. This is, hey, I like your house. Here's an offer. I accept your offer. They didn't necessarily close. But again, the sweet spot, 250 to 350 with shoulders either side, 150 to 250 and 350K to 500K. 1,800 properties total. A third of those, about 600, right in that sweet spot of 250 to 350. So if you want to buy a house, your best chance, the most inventory that you're going to have in front of you, the ones that went to the table most often were in that 250 to 350 price range. Pending sales by construction. No surprise here. Of 1,800 properties, only 127 were new construction that went pending. 1,700 were existing homes. We just did not have the inventory of new homes here, and that's going to be easing in the coming year or two as the more than 1,000 new homes in planned subdivision developments are going to be coming online as they're breaking ground right now here in the Greater Lafayette area here in 2026. And then we're going to look at pending sales by property type. What do you think? What are we going to see here? Yep, exactly what you think. Detached, single family, 1,800, just under 1,800 homes, 1,772, 79 of them townhouses and condos. Not even 5% of the total were townhouses and condos. We're going to see a few more townhouses coming online in the next year, but think, 100 or so, not thousands. So that pressure is not going to ease a little bit. So if you're a developer that wants to build condos and townhouses here in the Greater Lafayette area, I welcome you to town, and I'd love to talk to you. We're going to look at market momentum next, and this is days on market by price point. And this is where we really get to weave the details together and tell the story of these markets. And we keep seeing this sweet spot kind of in the middle. We'll call it, in that 250 to 350 range. Well, guess what? That 250 to 350 range where most of the deals are, the median days on market were only 12. So not quite 2 weeks. And then in that cheaper price point where there are not quite as many sales, but they're 11. And then if you were in that bargain basement hunt, it was 3. And again, that bargain basement is a bargain basement for a reason. Now, if you're buying at higher price points, and by higher I mean 350 and above in this case, check it out, 350 to 500, 28 days, 4 weeks on average to get an accepted offer here in the Greater Lafayette area over the last year, compared to 20 days the year before. So it's almost slightly more than a week longer. That means if a home goes on sale for $375,000 on average, it's going to take 4 weeks to get an accepted offer. Now, as a seller, that means you need to get your mind wrapped around that fact. But if you're a buyer, it means that the houses in that price point are going to be on the market a little bit longer, which means you're going to have a little bit longer to look at each one that comes on the market and consider, and you're going to have a little wider array of choices perhaps at any given time, because maybe this brand new one came on the market today, but the one that came on the market 3 weeks ago is still on the market. So now you can compare and contrast the two. And then, of course, the higher you go in price point, the longer the market gets. 500 to 750, 41 days, almost 6 weeks. That is kind of an eternity compared to the 2 and 3 days and 5 and 7 and even 10 days that it has been over the last few years. And if you check this out, the previous year it was 16 days, so just over 2 weeks. There are still quite a few homes that sell in that $500,000 to $750,000 range. So that is you just got to get comfortable with the fact that if you're going to sell a home at that price point, you got to get it priced correctly. You got to look at it dispassionately and go, you know what? I bought this house a few years ago. I haven't done anything to it. So now I need to price it appropriately to move. Or I bought this home a few years ago and I've poured tons of money into it, so it is worth more. And you got to work with your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice, that's me, to get your house priced correctly so that it will sell in this market, because it is still technically a seller's market, but it is edging much closer to a balanced market. It's not quite at balanced just yet, but it is not the heyday of even just last year or the year before, much less 2020 or 2021. This is an interesting one to look at. Price per square foot. So just to give a little bit of context, it's tighter than you might think. It's basically in the $180 per square foot, between $150 all the way up to $500,000. And then at $500,000 and above, you pay a premium of $223 a square foot, so about $38 more a square foot over the mid-range of the market. So if you come, a lot of times looking at things by square foot is a great equalizer. If this house has 2.5 bedroom or bathrooms, this house has 3 bathrooms, this house has a 2-car garage, this house has a 3-car garage. There's some guidelines you can go out there and use to try to value those features, but at the end of the day, price per square foot is a really great equalizer as far as looking at the data. And the data says if you're looking between 150 and 500, on average, it's about $185, $180 to $185 a square foot. If you're paying premium, then you're paying a premium per square foot. It's not just more square footage, you're paying a premium per square foot. If you're down here in the bargain basement, guess what? That $128, do you know why it's only $128? I'll give you a guess what condition those homes are in. Drop it in the chat. Now, this is another interesting breakdown of price per square foot, but this is by construction. Check it out. You're going to pay a premium for new construction here in the market. For existing homes, it's $182 a square foot, up about $5 per square foot over the previous year. The premium is about $20 to buy new construction, about $20 per square foot. Now, this is on average across the entire inventory. So this number is definitely a little reductive. You're lumping in, $500,000 homes with $300,000 homes with $800,000 homes. So this is an average that I don't love, but it does show somewhat the disparity between existing homes and new construction. But depending on your price point, that can be accurate, but it can also be a little bit tighter for sure. And just reducing it to price per square foot may not be enough, to go, okay, this is why I should buy new construction. In some cases, it might be really, really close. And there might be something about the existing inventory that you like. Maybe it's in an existing neighborhood with trees that are mature already, or maybe the new build has fit and finish that you can't find in an existing home. So price per square foot might let you compare the two, but it's not the entire story. Price per square foot by property type. Detached single family, $185, up about $6. Townhouses, $106, down from $185. Essentially, price per square foot on average across the entire inventory over the last year has been about the same, whether you're buying detached or attached homes. So that doesn't really factor into the decision too much, I would not think. When people come to me and say, hey, Jeff, this market is really overpriced. These sellers are crazy. They're asking for too much. Let's lowball them. Well, we're going to look at percent of asking price over the last year. Just take a quick glance. None of these numbers are below 90%. And for all of the market other than the bargain basement up to $150,000, it's 97, almost 98%. So houses are going for what people are asking for them. 2% off of the asking price. Those are seller concessions that are kind of built into the negotiating process, if you will. The house is the asset. The house is the asset. It is what holds all of the value. And yes, the current homeowner is paying the mortgage and theoretically needs to get their money back out. But the home buyer is taking on that long-term commitment to pay that mortgage and is usually paying more than what the previous owner owned it for. And sometimes we're going slightly above asking and asking for some of that money back to help closing costs. Sometimes with specialty loans like FHA and VA, there's some things in there that we might get some credit for, little bits of repair. Maybe the seller went, you know what, I'm going to set my price with the expectation of I'll take 1% or 2% off to go deal with something that I don't want to deal with, and I'll give the concession to the buyer, perhaps a little bit of work on something that's broken, perhaps a floor upgrade, something along those lines. 98% essentially is nothing off of 100%. So houses that are priced properly are getting their full asking price here in Tippecanoe County. Again, almost 6% off of $0 to $150,000 homes. Those $150,000 homes are $150,000 homes for a reason. They need lots and lots and lots of love and work. and those 5.5% off is not even nearly enough money to begin to take care of that. So basically, if you come to me and say, let's lowball somebody, I'm going to say, you're the boss. Here are the facts, and the facts are that your lowball might just get us sent away from a negotiating table, and the seller won't even engage with us anymore, because this is the reality of the market here. People are getting their asking prices, and that holds up across construction types as well. Percent of asking price by construction type here in the Greater Lafayette area. Existing homes across the entire inventory, 97.8%, 98%. New construction, 100%, because that's just kind of the way that new construction works. Percent of asking price by construction type. Like, hey, is it better to, can I lowball somebody on a townhouse? Well, guess what? You can't. The numbers are essentially the same, right at about 98% on both, down from 100%. So there's, a percent or two of concessions that are being given away now. But I expect that, not just in this year. I'm always expecting that, whether it's last year or 10 years ago. That's just kind of the way that it goes. Again, the house is the asset. And so when we're negotiating about price and concessions, we're really negotiating basically over what the buyer is going to be paying for the next, 15 to 30 years. So it does not surprise me to see 98%. And quite honestly, I think anything over 90% is really kind of in a normal territory. Median price by price. So this one's a little bit confusing, but here's how this works. We take these price bands. So in the price band of 0 to 150, the median price, the middle price was $122,000. In the 150 to 250 mark, most of the middle house sold for $205,000. Between 250 and 350, it was $295,000 was the middle house that was sold. Between 350 and 500, it was about $405,000. And then between 500 and 750, it was a little lower than the actual midpoint of those numbers at about $568,000. The median is the middle number of the set. It's not the average. You take all of the numbers and you count up halfway through your set, and that's your median numbers. So that's just kind of interesting to go, hey, Jeff, between 250 and 350, you say that's a big range. That's a $100,000 range. Well, the middle one sold for $295,000. So let's see, does that pop-up work here? It doesn't give me the total number of homes, but the median home of that data set sold for $295,000. So half of those homes sold for $295,000 or more, and then the other half sold for $295,000 or less. So half of the homes sold between $250,000 and $295,000. So, if you're there's quite a number of homes available between $250,000 and $350,000, and half of those are available between $250,000 and $300,000. Welcome to your math lesson for today. I probably shouldn't be a math teacher. Median price by construction. This is across the entire data set of everything sold over the last year. So how meaningful this is, I'm not sure. But in existing homes, the median price was $295,000, and in new construction, it was $475,000. About $8,000 up in new construction and about $5,000 up in existing homes. So that means that half of the homes of existing homes were $295,000 or more, and half were $295,000 or less. We kind of went into the details of those numbers, but that means that there is half of the homes sold over the last year here in Tippecanoe County sold for $295,000 or less. So if your price point is less than $295,000, well, I got good news for you. Half of the inventory might be available to you now. Is every one of those homes something that you want to buy? Probably not. Median price by property type. So detached single family across the entire data set, $309,000. And then townhouses and condos, I would expect these to be cheaper. They're smaller, $252,000. And that number was down about $13,000. But when you're talking about the small, 10, 15 homes that you're talking, swings of price are going to be a little bit bigger when you're talking about that kind of a small data set. And in the detached single family, we came up just under $7,000 over over the previous years to 309. So the housing market here in the Greater Lafayette area is continuing to appreciate, and it is showing really no signs of abating. Perhaps the steam that's behind it is cooling just a little bit, where we're not going to see the giant leaps, year over year over year, but we are going to continue to see growth, and that's a good thing. If you're interested in any of that, if you want a value on your current home, if you want more information about the existing home inventory that's for sale here, if you want information about the new construction homes that are coming on the market here in the Greater Lafayette area, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube and fill out that form. And you and I can work together here on all your real estate needs here in the Greater Lafayette area. And hit the like and subscribe button. It means it's really the way that YouTube works. So like you hitting those buttons really matters. So, all right. Next up, we're going to take some home tours. And tonight's tours are going to be about homes that have some land here in the Greater Lafayette area. And first up, we're going to look at a home a little to the south here. We're going to look at 11424 South 975 East in Clarks Hill. And this is kind of a beautiful cabin style home that's sitting on 2 acres. If you're saying to me, hey Jeff, where is Clarks Hill? You're just going to take 52 a little south out of Lafayette, little town just to the south here. I'm just going to zoom out. Here you go. Clarks Hill. Here's a West Lafayette. It's call it a 20-minute drive from Lafayette down to Clarks Hill. But by making that drive, you can get yourself 2 acres and a cabin style. Now, not everything in this is going to be for everybody, I know, but check it out. You get a 2-car detached garage. I'm not a giant fan of the AI photos. I know why people do them. I'm just saying I'm not a giant fan. But if you like rustic cabin style, check this out. You got the wood trim, you got the wood ceilings, you got the planking on the floor. Now the taxidermy may not be for you. It's certainly not for me, and that obviously wouldn't come to the house. But that gives you this cabin lodge feel. You've got the great room, and I guarantee you that wood stove is going to keep the house warm throughout the winter. You've got the dining area here. Lovely kind of country style kitchen just off of the dining area. This big open style is pretty common. You have the exposed beams in the bedrooms, and the theme just carries through. And that's the thing about this cabin style home, is they're really built around the great room concept. So you have these big soaring ceilings. It really helps with temperature management, keeping the place warm, keeping everybody connected. We go into the primary, lots and lots of room with TV too high. These odd-shaped closets, pretty common in the cabin-style setups. I was going to say richly appointed. Boy, isn't that a realtor term. This is 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. I just jumped into this, and I didn't say 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, 1,368 square feet on 2 acres. We've got the pergola out back, but here's where it really gets cool. We have the 2-car garage, but we have the 3-car workshop. And are they selling the car lift with it? I don't think so. So this has a 1-bedroom apartment attached to it. They've currently got it set up as an auto shop. You can see the lift there, and there is the attached 1-bedroom apartment. They have this set up, that bay set up as a paint booth. So if you're into refinishing classic cars, I mean, check this out. Apartment? Really? You get a lot for your money here. And if you stay tuned to the end here of the tour, I'm going to tell you what you're about to get. But the main building is 1,368 square feet. And the second building, I don't have the total square footage in front of me, but it's huge. So you got main building, You got the 3-car attached. You got the 3-car garage with apartment. You got the 2-car detached garage, and you got a large shed outbuilding there. Down in Clarks Hill, just about 20 minutes south of here. I'm going to end on, I like the previous picture better. I kind of like this one. That is 11424 South 970 East in Clarks Hill. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths with a 2-car detached garage, the shed out back, and then the 3-car garage building. Garage isn't even the right word, with apartment. 2 acres. $480,000. You're getting 2 acres and essentially 2 houses and a 3-car garage workshop for $480,000. I think that's a steal. I really, really do. And if you want to go check that out, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out that form, and let's go check that out together. We're going to go to the next house in our tour. And we're touring homes here that have some acreage here in the Greater Lafayette area. And next up, we're going to look at 7440 Pre-Flight Path. And this is a barn dominium. We haven't looked at too many of these, but you've probably driven by and seen them, whether you realized it or not. But man, what you can do with a barn dough these days is just absolutely amazing. And that's a pole barn that's basically been turned into a house. But this one is 7440 Pre-Flight Path here in Lafayette. This one is 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, and we're going to put it on the map here. Let's get this map. It's down to the southeast corner of Lafayette. Wyandotte. Well, I'm sorry, east, not southeast. Here's Wyandotte right here, right next to I-65. Well, southeast is right. I was thinking north of Dayton. It's south of Dayton. Of course it is. Again, 10 minutes to Dayton, 15 minutes to the south side of Lafayette, 20 minutes to Lafayette, and you're right here next to I-65. But this is a beautiful barn dominium, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,636 square feet. Let's go take a tour. Ooh. The wrong button there, too fast. 7440 Pre-Flight Path in Lafayette. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,636 square feet on 5 acres. Because again, we're taking tour of homes with acreage. This is a barn dominium. So this is a pole barn that's been converted into a house. 3-car garage, in-ground pool, 5 acres. Just imagine what you could do with this property. Got beautiful modern style kitchen with the sink built into the island. You have the primary suite right off of it, the eating nook as opposed to an entire dining room. I'm not a giant fan of the white color palette, but a lot of people are. So if that's for you, fantastic. It's about you. It's not about me. Check this out. This one has a built-in pen for your dog. I think that's what that is. Love the. I hope you love the great room setup. Lots and lots of angles about the great room. I'm just kind of zipping through. So we're going to move over to the primary. Got the giant modern style bathroom, 2-bay sink with lots of counter space and a shower with room to spare. You can shower at the same time if that's your thing. Giant walk-in closet with the laundry in the closet. You don't have to go far. Like I said, this is a 3-bedroom and 3-bath, and I believe, yeah, I'm just talking to myself there. And this is where you can kind of start to feel that you're actually in the pole barn. You know, they've left some of it a little more raw. Get your own urinal. Out to the back porch with the exposed beams. 3-car garage. But here is the built-in pool. And I like it. It's yeah. And I like the gazebo. This is an old grain bin that's been converted into a gazebo. I mean, it's just perfect for the area. It's exactly, it's what it's supposed to be. But this kind of gives you the idea of what the layout is. So the great room here with the primary and its walk-in closet. Then you have the two other bedrooms that share a bath with a shower, and then you have the half bath facing out to that 3-car garage. So this is 7440 Pre-Flight Path in Lafayette. 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1,636 square feet. You got a 3-car workshop garage. You got an in-ground pool, a grain bin silo, 5 acres to call your own. Currently listed for $625,000. Go to thelafayettereal.com/YouTube, fill out the form, and let's go check this one out together. And we're going to continue our tour of homes here in the Greater Lafayette area with some land. With 5,800, which, I might want to finish with this one. Hang on. No, I want to do this one. Okay. Get this up. Sorry, I got to work the technology. 5,800 North, 50 West here in West Lafayette. 5 bedrooms and 5 baths. This is just a little north of town. Let's take a look at it on the map, and then we will take a tour. So Salisbury turns into 50 West. It is right here, just south of 600 North. If you're not familiar with our county road naming system, that puts it 6 miles north of the zero line, which is which is State Street 26. But just north of West Lafayette. This is West Lafayette down here. This is the commercial core of West Lafayette. It's a 5-minute blast down to West Lafayette. It's 10 minutes into Purdue University. Great location. You're just far enough out in the country. There is a lot of new development coming out this way, so you're going to have some new homes popping up around you, but you're getting 4 acres on this one. This is 5,800 North, 50 West in West Lafayette. 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, 4,489 square feet on 4.86 acres. You have a 3-car outbuilding that has a 2nd floor. It's got an outdoor half basketball court. It is brick. It is absolutely beautiful. Look at the woods. So even as things pop up around you, you're still going to maintain some privacy. Absolutely love this one. A little closer up on the brick. And then we move inside. You can see the dining room and the modern kitchen that has been updated. This was a 2026 renovation. So, I mean, this is a fresh renovation. Doesn't get any newer than this. Moving on through the kitchen. The living room with the fireplace and the vaulted ceiling with the skylights gives you that indoor-outdoor feel. I love the wood trim windows in the office space. You have the balcony overlooking the entryway. Moving into the primary suite, beautiful hardwood floors, lots of skylight, natural light, lots of space in the bathroom. You got the warmer tones in this primary bathroom. We start moving into the secondary bedrooms. Remember, there are 5 bedrooms and 5 baths. So we're kind of going to zip through a lot of these bedrooms because, a bedroom is a bedroom here. We're going to get on to some of the cooler features here. But you can tell that, the renovations happened throughout. And, of course, the great room, the living room, that's where the highlights are. But the rest of the house is up to date and is quite lovely. You have the rec room area downstairs with the wet bar. And coming back out to the aerial shot, you have your own half basketball court. I mean, That's basketball court. Got the 2-car attached garage with the separate 3-car garage. This is the outbuilding, the main level. And then up on the second level is roughed out, is finished, and you can turn it into whatever you want. You can turn it into apartment. You can turn it into workshop, office, walking distance to Harrison High School. I mean, it doesn't really get better than this. So this is 5800 North, 50 West here in West Lafayette. 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, 4,489 square feet on 4.86 acres. Get your own half basketball court. You get a 2-car attached garage, 3-car detached garage with a mostly finished upper room, currently priced at $939,000. And is that a lot of money? Yes. But if you want to get pre-approved and go check it out, go to thelafayettereal.com/YouTube, fill out that form, and let's go check out that beautiful home together. Continuing on our tour of homes here in the Greater Lafayette area that have some acreage, we're going to move on to a home in Lafayette. This is 9075 Lantern Way. I'll show you a little preview of it before we get it on the map. This is going to be on 3.44 acres, and here's the map view of it. And Lantern Way is just, if you're not familiar where this is a little to the south. So here's 900 south down here. So that's 9 miles south of the 0 line. I'm just going to zoom out. And you'll see it's almost down to Stockwell, but 9 miles straight up to 26. That's what 900 south means. So, you can hop over here to 52. You can hop over here to 231. 52 will get you into Lafayette. 231 will get you over to West Lafayette. So you get some country feeling, but you still get easy access to town. And it's a quick jump over here to I-65, where you can go south to Indianapolis or north to Chicago. So, we're going a little further away from the core of town, but we're talking about acreage here. We're talking about 3.44 acres, 9075 Lantern Lane, 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 4,626 square feet on 3.44 acres. Let's go take a tour of this one. So we start out with the aerial shot. You got the fenced-in backyard. So if you want the dogs to run, but it's got the fenced-in backyard because it's got the in-ground pool. Imagine your summer in your in-ground pool, relaxing on the deck, taking a swim. Doesn't get any better than that. I love the stonework on the facade. We move out back to the covered patio. But man, I love in-ground pools. I probably don't love taking care of them, but I love looking at them and swimming in them. You got your water slide, you got your jets there. There's your filtration system. You got the walkout with the hot tub, little shed out back, and then we move inside to the farmhouse style eat-in kitchen dining room area, looking out to the living room. Got the plank flooring in the living room area with the built-in fireplace, the entry area with the curved arches and the French doors into the dining room. A lot of people, instead of making it a dining room, turn it into a den or office instead. Completely up to you. And you can see the winter shots out there. We saw the pool in the summer. Got the mud room. And then, like I said, this one is 5 bedrooms and 4 baths. So we're going to see a lot of bedrooms and baths. We move downstairs to the rec room downstairs. Popcorn machine probably doesn't come with, but it is walkout. So you can come right in from having a good time. Moving up to the primary suite. You got the double doors that open out into the living area. You have both the shower, and the tub here. Walk-in closet. Got the darker tones. And again, we're going to zip through these bedrooms because, a bedroom is a bedroom. 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. 4,626 square feet on 3.44 acres, 9075 Lantern Lane has an in-ground pool currently listed for $799,000. Go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out that form, and let's go take a tour of this one or any of the great homes here in the Greater Lafayette area, whether it's a $250,000 home or a $750,000 home. One of the homes that we're taking a tour of tonight that has acreage, or a condo that has no upkeep that you need to worry about. And for our last tour of homes that have land here in the Greater Lafayette area, we're going to look at an in-town home that has just 1.81 acres. This is on North 21st Street. And this guy is pretty special. This is an Italianette that was originally built in 1880. It was renovated and updated in 2013. There is just a lot to recommend it, but let's put it on the map. That way, if you're not familiar with the area, you can go check this out. But 21st Street, I mean, it's in Lafayette. Is the short answer. Right here. Here's Union Street. This is South Street. This is 26 heading east-west through Lafayette. There's Columbian Park. The next street to the north that's major east-west corridor is Union Street. This is what goes Union and Salem. This goes over the Wabash River into West Lafayette. And then the next one north is Greenbush. Those are really kind of three of the major east-west arteries. This is the core of old Lafayette. And again, this house was built in the 1800s, in 1880. This is a pretty special property because this is not a dilapidated old piece of junk. This is not that. This is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath Italianette with 5,050 square feet on 1.81 acres in the middle of Lafayette. And just look how mature the trees are, how lived in the yard looks. You have the attached 2-car garage. You have the covered porch. And it built in 1880, but look how they have updated the stonework and tuck pointed it and made sure the brick is in great condition. And then we move inside. And I know that this might be over the top for some people and it may not be your style, but for this home, this is right on point. This is exactly what it is supposed to look like. You know, you have all of the wood that was there, but it has been lovingly updated to feel modern, to not feel oppressive and heavy. You've got the built-in fireplace. The wood archways, the wood panel trim, the dining room is just absolutely astounding with the butler's pantry area here in the dining room. I want to back up one. You have the wood stove in the fireplace. Just absolutely lovingly taken care of. Look at these. Look at how well these ceilings have been updated. Got the hardwood floors in the eat-in kitchen area, in a modern kitchen in a home that was built in the 1880s. It just does not, you're not going to find anything else like this in the area. Just impossible. Fireplaces abound, and with the windows and the French doors that look outside, you've got the nook area that gives you that office reading area right off of the bedroom. Then you move into the bedroom with the ensuite. And look, that is not an 1880s bathroom. That is not a 1980s bathroom. That is a modern bathroom with the soaking tub and the rainforest shower. You have the sink with vanity attached in the primary. Looking down from the stairway, from the top landing of the stairway, looking down, I mean, just, you're not going to find that in a modern home. It's absolutely beautiful. You got the little sitting areas there at the top of the stairs, and we move through the secondary bedrooms because, like I said, there are 5 beds and 5 baths in this house. So we'll kind of zip through this middle section because they do start to run together, but all lovingly updated in all of these bedrooms. You can use them for bedrooms, for sitting areas. You have a kitchen downstairs as well. There are 4 fireplaces, some of them with Italian marble. Then you go out to this covered area outside, and then move out to the back of the house. You have, this gracious outdoor living with the fountain, mature trees, mature yard that looks like it belongs, like it's part of the house. You've got the raised deck. You still have some grass and some yards, so if you got dogs or kids, and you've got the lower level garage, you have the upper level garage, just absolutely beautiful. So that is 1021 North 21st Street here in Lafayette. 5 bedrooms, 5 baths, 5,050 square feet on 1.81 acres. Currently listed for a cool $1,175,000. And if you want to get pre-approved and go check this home out, go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out the form, and let me know. We can go check this out. Or if $1 million isn't in your budget, because I'm mostly joking, there's not a lot of people that are going to buy a $1 million home. But if there's a home here in the Greater Lafayette area, if you're interested in buying or selling, I'd love to be your local Lafayette real estate resource of choice. Go to the LafayetteReal.com/YouTube, fill out that form. Don't forget, I'm Jeff Gooch with the Russell Company, powered by App Properties. I'm so glad that you have joined me here on the Lafayette Real and at Lafayette Live. Hit the like and subscribe button so that YouTube knows how much you care. It really helps us with the channel and getting this content and videos in front of other people. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you again on the next edition of At Lafayette Live. Have a great week, everybody.